So I just got done watching the State of the Union address, and I have to say, Trump did a fantastic job. I I'm a little biased because I am a veteran. So, a lot of the State of the Union was honoring military service members. And a lot of times, as a veteran, I do kind of feel invisible because it's like when you're in the service 24/7, everything is about the uniform. And then it's like when you get out, it's like, you have to kind of get it how you live. Everybody says thank you for your service, but there's no real like connection with people and stuff like that. It's just like you're just thrown into this new life. And he also took time to honor veterans that, were in combat and things like this. He even awarded a Purple Heart. That really did move me because, like I said before, being in the service, you see a lot of really traumatic things happen to people. And oftentimes it just feels like they get swept under the rug. So I have to say, I really did appreciate that portion. What I did not appreciate was the part where he was saying, if you believe, and he was talking to the entire chamber, he was like, if you believe as a representative of, being in our government, America should have safe borders. People shouldn't just be able to come into this country. Something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing. He asked them to stand up. And of course, anytime there's a State of the Union, you have the Democrats, they're always sitting. Well, the opposite party most times is always sitting. But in this case, the Democrats were sitting, and of course, the Republicans were standing up and they were clapping and everything.
Isn't that a shame? You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up. You should be ashamed of yourself.
And Trump was absolutely right on this. When it comes to securing our borders and making sure people are not in the United States illegally, that should not be a bipartisan issue. I don't know why I thought this, but I literally thought the representatives on the Democratic side of the aisle would be like, okay, we're talking about the safety of Americans. We're talking about people being here illegally. Yeah, we should support that. But no, they even took it a little bit further and decided to disrespect the president.
That is why I'm also asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminals.
See, this is something that I really don't understand. It's one thing to come here from another country and have, really strong opinions. You're entitled to them. It's a whole other conversation to actually be representing American citizens on a federal level coming from a foreign country and disrespecting the President of the United States. Honestly, when it comes to people like Ilhan Omar, I honestly think if America is such a terrible place for her, she should go back to Somalia. Yes, I am a black woman saying that another black woman should go back to Africa.
Criminal aliens, in many cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country. They're blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah. Now, in my opinion, this was a really good transition because seeing how Ilhan Omar, I think that's how you pronounce her name. I'm gonna just call her Omar for short. The way that she was carrying on, this was perfect to bring up the SAVE Act because I don't feel like everyday Americans are voting for these aggressive, shameless folks to represent us as Americans. Like, it's not in our best interest for people to come here illegally and then disrespect our country, our citizens, and our officials.
And perhaps most importantly, I'm asking you to approve the Save America Act. To stop illegal aliens and others who are unpermitted persons from voting.
So I took a quick second to look up the Save America Act, and it says the Save America Act is a 2026 proposal requiring proof of U.S. citizenship, such as a passport, birth certificate, to register for federal elections. It also goes on to say that it mandates documentary proof of citizenship for federal voter registration. I just don't understand what the problem is here. Maybe a Democrat can help me out here. What is so wrong with requiring people to prove that they're citizens to be a part of our voting process?